Hello there, you cute little DMLer. Today we have two new dragons to get hatching, and one of them is an ancient, the other one being one of the current chest dragons, and the brand new Shadow Metal Dragon. And so for the Shadow Metal Dragon, it took me just under 600 chests to be opened to get this legendary, because if you do check in the drop section, you can get up to 10 pieces of him in every chest, so usually he takes many hundreds of chests to open up. Took me about 600 chests. That's fine. We've got him. And we are going to be hatching him alongside our beautiful ancient fishy Solum. So, of course, this is our first ancient from this event, and not that we're really going to use him, because it's just Solum, but I actually think he may be my favourite ancient out of this event. You know, you may prefer Emon, but that's wrong. It is literally wrong to prefer Emon. I don't care what your opinion is, but Solum is an ancient void and water dragon. So, in terms of overall usefulness, I would say that Emon, Electronic Mother, is going to be better for most people just because of the fire, which is, at the moment, for dungeon, more useful for getting tasks done, and plus with ancient healers, you can't overheal, unlike you can with, say, adding a really big shield. So that's the only problem with having an ancient healer. You're not going to get full optimal potential out of them, if that makes sense. But, you know, he's still a fish. So, a being from the deepest ocean trenches, Solum was instrumental in spreading the void from beneath the sea, unbeknownst to land dwellers. It speaks in incomprehensible gurgles and bloops. So you're saying that Nile, not Neil, Nile, our little fish here, just goes blip blop, blop. You know what, I can sort of see it. It's like someone asks him a question, he just goes blip blop. You know, especially in baby form. Maybe in adult form, it's more like blub, 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 blub. You know what I mean? Especially with this body type. This body type, they always look like they're itching for a fight. Like, look at him. He looks so angry. You know what? It hasn't actually occurred to me just how weird it is. This fish is, like, humanoid. And walks on two legs. That's actually creeping me out now. Okay, we're taking you into your adult form. Maybe it'll be slightly less weird than the baby form. But yeah, imagining a fish with two gigantic legs like this is kind of weird if you think about it. But then again, it's not like we've encountered every single deep sea fish on Earth, so it is very possible that somewhere deep down in the ocean there is a fish that looks just like this. And he walks on the bottom of the sea like that. That would be very weird. At least if he was this colourful though, and like those colours, if we ever got him out onto the surface, he'd look nice, right? But yeah, I do think he's probably my favourite dragon from this event. You know, some people will be like, no, it's Neil. Neil's the best. But I don't know, I kind of prefer this guy. Neil's animations sort of ruin him, IMO. But anywho, that's our first dragon for today. The other one that we've got is this bad boy. Look at him, he definitely looks like he'd be a goth of some kind given the option. This is Shadow Metal, which, if you're going to ask what are his elements, Shadow, Metal, and Legendary. So if you're going to ask how inventive were they with the name, well, I'd probably give them about 1 point out of 10. But, you know, it does the job. It explicitly states what his elements are. Should we do this for, like, the plant water dragon? Shadow metal, plant water, light fire? Yeah. Doesn't have the same ring, does it? Anyway, armoured agents of darkness. Shadow Metal Dragons worked with ancient tyrants to battle their enemies in secret, including their most dangerous threats, the ancient void dragons. So Sri here, which is a very Indian name, looks like he is at war with the ancients. Very weird. Just in terms of stats and in terms of usefulness, he would get absolutely mocked by ancients, but I guess at least it's the thought that counts, right? It's like the whole of DML. Like, Legendaries wish that they could take on the ancients and actually murder them, but there's no way in hell that's ever gonna happen. So, you know, Shadow Metal, I can appreciate the grind, but maybe hold back if you don't want to die. Just saying. But anyway, that is up to you, Shree. Do as you wish. But this dragon is very chonky, like, you know what? I think this dragon would have been a really nice one in Trampler form. And I say that as a fan of the fat dragons. But this guy, he's giving me Trampler vibes, and he's not even a Trampler. I'm just saying, maybe some more legs, he would have looked even cooler. especially with those terrifying horns on his mouth. But either way, that is the new legendary. So in terms of those ancient chests now, any other chests that we're opening up, I don't care about any of the drops in them apart from talismans and VIP tickets. Everything else, useless. So we do have that nice blue tentacle thing. I'm not going anywhere else with that, but there's that as well. We could also get a duplicate of each of these dragons, of course, which we've got a duplicate of all the others. If we get a duplicate Shadow Metal, that'll be fine for any future events as well. But now it's just going to rely on talisman drops. And, you know, if we get 1500, we will be getting the other ancient. It is the final dungeon week, and we've got a lot of burnout dragons in this dungeon week, which I know has not pleased a few people, but it was sort of to be expected, honestly. But, you know, we'll see what we want to do. Essentially, whether I'm going to gem this week is going to come down to whether I can actually get a DATS or not. So, I'm not sure on that yet. Although I did get times 50 drop earlier, so we are over 120 pieces now. So that should be doable. But the other dragon that we've got available this week is Crone, who is the dungeon dragon, which I got this a very long time ago, so I don't care about her. We do have a VIP ticket in the shop, which I'm going to take, because VIP tickets are very tasty, and I desperately need them. Everything else is useless. So it seems like last week they did just get rid of that premium sigil chest, and they're not going to replace it, which absolutely sucks. DML moment is all I have to say about that. But in terms of what we've got in the ancient market here, you know, we've got 309 horns, which is not very many. We've got a lot of options. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some premium sigil chests, because I really, really want some. You know, Havoc, it could be something better, but it's okay. It could also be Turtle. This one, what do we get? Daredevil! Don't need it, but again, it could be useful for something, especially if the meta changes. What's in this one? Really? Like a bit of Finnet. Although I say that, the only rare sigils I'm actually interested in now are Wonders. But you know, that could have been a lot worse. If we ever want to make like a super arena sigil map team, you know, getting some rare daredevils is okay for purity daredevil builds. So that could have gone a lot worse. Could have gone a lot better. But that's fine. You know, a rare in each, and each of them having daredevil, it's fine. It's fine, because remember, there's only a 10% chance for rares in each of them as well. These chests are just very, very bad. But they're necessary if you want to unlock epic sigils and things like that. We are very far away from getting another epic acceptance, which is the only main thing that we really need, so I can throw it on one of my other dragons. It's going to take a while, though. But for instance, if I do ever want to go for the map stuff, like we could throw Purity Daredevil on a third dragon that we've got, like even Samey. Although I want to keep him for the dungeon at the moment, but say we throw it on, I don't know, none of these are great Purity Daredevil users, but even like Joko, we could throw it on him, for example, just for the meme, and get sigil map done. But, you know, I'm not going to mess around with my sigils and having to change them and things like that at the moment. But it's things that you can think about and do over time. But you'll see that we've got, like, I can get one rare acceptance. But that's not very many, for example. Like, we got 12 rare Daredevils, we got 12 rare Havoc, so we could upgrade those, but 2,000 to use one of those. I'm like, no, I'm not wasting that. So, I think in general I am just going to save up my resources, because why the heck not? We've also almost got enough for another Wonder, which could be useful at some point, but, you know, that's premium sigil chest things. We got some enchantment tickets, wonderful. And in terms of DML this week, we don't have a ton of stuff going on. It's mainly just, you know, continuing with the final week of the Ancient event, which, yeah, we're at 436 pieces for a DATS, so I genuinely think we probably have a higher chance of finishing a DATS by pieces now. So just one more times 50 basically would basically secure this dragon for us. So I'm being hopeful. But we do also have the clan event stuff to do. That'll come back in a moment. And aside from that, I'm just waiting for my daily rewards to get to the end, because look, 21 extra dem relics. That is nuts. You know, for all the things I complain about in DML for them not being very giving, this 21 extra dem relics. That's like 3 weeks worth of extra dem. That's nuts. You know, more of this, please, Game Loft. That is absolutely nutty. I can praise them for that. Maybe the nerfs to the Ancient event haven't been too hot, which I will be very transparent about. But, like, 3 weeks worth of extra den is incredibly useful. I'm very happy about that. I mean, I have been playing your game for nearly 8 years now, Game Loft. So, yeah, I should hope you're giving me 3 weeks of free den. Hell yeah. Yeah, let's talk about Game Loft. But, aside from that, we don't really have anything else too much of note. We do have Dark Menace leaving soon, which is a dragon I haven't really talked about, and that's mainly because it's a bundle-only dragon. Very nice-looking dragon. It's got a cool eye. Very creepy eye, but, you know, it's Dark Menace. Pretty good. Useless, but pretty good-looking wise. So, that's all that's really going on this week in DML, but since this is the final week, you need to make sure that you're grinding in the dungeon, getting everything that you can. Like, if you didn't gem last week, I was tempted, but I just couldn't be bothered, to be honest. This is going to be your last chance, really, to get everything that you need, because there is Catch-Up Dungeon, but do not rely on Catch-Up Dungeon to get the pieces for the dragons that you need, because Catch-Up Dungeon is incredibly unreliable and RNG-based, so if you are going to try and get the other altar dragons, do it now. Maybe a bad dungeon week for you, but there is no other good dungeon week after this. This is the end of the altar stuff. You need to get it within 7 days. So, best of luck if you are going for Emon, Solum, or even Ash Kellen. Maybe you are. And I hope you got enough gems to do it. I hope that you are prepared for the dungeon grind. And I guess be prepared for the new Dragon of the Month that is releasing tomorrow on the 1st. So that should be interesting. We do also have Muerte for Halloween, of course, with Melon and Tornado, so good luck if you are going to try and breed Muerte as well. But anywho, skis, that is most of the updating I wanted to do today. Thank you for joining me in the hatching of these 2 new beautiful beasts, and for now, adios.